Oh yeah, oh yeah. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Geo coming to you live from a disclosed location somewhere in Western Washington. About to break down the top 10 lyricists of all time according to me, myself, and I, Geo the Supreme, the Skrillerator. So let's get it right. Bringing in the rear at number 10. Personal favorite of mine is Brother Lynch Hung from Sacramento, California, the Garden Block gangster who released such classic albums as 24 Deep and Season of the Sickness and Loaded. Had a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it a falling off period, but a little subpar, dropped some subpar albums because he dropped a lot of them. Came pretty strong when him and Sibo dropped the Block Movement. And then I say he really picked his feet up again when he dropped his Dinner and a Movie. That was some classic Lynch material. If you ain't hip, check out the song Meat for one, or Colostomy Bag. He is spitting ferocious flame on those CDs, man. There's just no denying that. Coming in at 9, we're going to hit you hard with a young rapper named Too Short, Tacha, representing Oakland, California. The first gang spitter of all time. Just brought real tracks to the streets. You know what I mean? Wasn't the most eloquent of artists with the biggest vocab, but his longevity, just how long he's been in the game and supplanted as a fixture, as a staple of rap, as a historian of the craft. You just got to give him his due. Too Short brings heat and spits game and, can tell you a real story, meaningful. You know what I mean? How to break bread. He was the first independent rapper in the game, selling tapes at the trunk of the car, He started that. E40 took it to another level, as in, where majors start looking at you. Then we'll come to number 8. At 8, we have Razzcazz, one of the coldest lyricists to ever touch the mic. Just been spitting gas. Doesn't really have any classic albums. Well, his first two are pretty. His first album, Soul on Ice, is definitely a classic. Definitely one of my favorite 30 albums. But after that, I think where he fell short is on the production tip. But he's already made mention it. He's a lyricist. He's like, damn the beat. He said he's gonna gas whatever track he's on anyway. And he's got two of the most relevant and important rap songs ever made, with Interview with a Vampire and also The Nature of the Threat. If you're not hip to those, man, go ahead, get on YouTube, wherever you got to do, download them on iTunes, and go ahead and take a part of history. At 7, that brings us to Eminem, Slim Shady. Yes, incredible lyricist, one of the coldest freestylers as far as mainstream artists. Definitely number 1 as far as mainstream artists are concerned. There's nobody that's a mainstream artist that wants to tangle with Eminem on a freestyle tip. I'll tell you that right now. But he's just an incredible artist as well. And he broke in the game on some real pop stuff with that My Name Is. So I have to be honest with you, I wasn't the biggest Slim Shady fan when I heard that song, but that had to be my sophomore year at Washington State University. Somebody had put his CD in, and I heard some of the other tracks, and he was just gassing. I mean, just the lyrics, just like the classic line when he said, I think the first line that got me was when he said, give me 2 fat tabs and 3 shrooms, and you won't see me like fat people in steam rooms. I was like, whoo! I said, man, who's that? And somebody told me that was Slim, and I've been a fan ever since, man. Just been supporting him throughout his career since. At 6, that brings us to a young fella by the name of Kool G Rap. If you're not familiar with his work, you're probably familiar with the people he influences the most, like say Nas or Jay-Z. They definitely give them credit to where they found their style, especially Jay-Z. Jay-Z Jay-Z pays homage to Cool G on a regular basis. He always gives him credit. Cool G's an incredible lyricist. If you guys aren't hip, just go ahead and check out some of his material as well. At five, I'm going to go ahead and say is Jay-Z himself, the Jigga Man. The Jigga's been spitting heat for just so long. Probably the most successful, commercially successful rapper in history, as far as solo artists are concerned, for sure. I mean, he's had an incredible career. He's been gassing tracks, from his 20s to his 40s. I'm assuming he's 40 now. He's lost a little bit, I'd say, if you ask me. I haven't been a big fan of some of his latest work, like the Blueprint 3 or Blueprint 2 for that matter. And it might be blasphemous to say, but I'm in probably a short minority of people that don't think Blueprint is his best CD. Might be his fourth best CD in my mind. I was a big fan of Reasonable Doubt, Volume 1, and also Rock La Familia, The Dynasty. I just thought those were better overall. Well, as far as production value and mixed with how he was spitting, just his lyrical, his flow, and I don't know, he just seemed to have more ability back then. He's kind of a rapper that's kind of sandbagged with the times, kind of dumbed down his style, which he's admitted. You know what I mean? At 4, Scarface. The guy, very underappreciated, but a cold lyricist who seems to get better with the times. I mean, his last few albums have kind of gone under the radar. People haven't really been looking for him, but Scarface is still gassing tracks, man. Quiet as it's kept. Man, Scarface is still that guy. Yeah, man. He's still doing major work out here. So if you haven't had the Emeritus, or however you pronounce the CD, he made a few years back, man, the dude is still gassing. I may have skipped one. I'm going to assume that was 3. I don't know, maybe that was 4. Well, we'll go to 2 anyway. At 2 is Tupac Shakur. He's just had an incredible career. He was just way ahead of his time. He was just so in tune with the world. I mean, that goes unseen. You know what I mean? People just remember him as Thug Life and stuff like that, and they forget about Brenda's Got a Baby or Keep Your Head Up or Changes or songs like that just been, inspiring, and you can see where this man's head was, you know what I mean? He was a poet way ahead of his time. And one, which shouldn't be a surprise if you've seen him in my other videos, is E40. Earl Fody Fonzarelli is just the best that ever did it, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Just as far as longevity, he's got like 24, 25 years in the game. He's still relevant. He hasn't changed or sacrificed his style to appease to the masses. He still spits heat like bars. He's actually, quiet as it's kept, sometimes it seems like he's even getting better. Like as far as the content of his lyrics, his metaphors are sharper. I mean, his flow has always been there. I mean, some people try to knock it. They claim it's annoying or whatnot. But I was like, you couldn't possibly call E40 weak if you listen to songs like Story, Things Will Never Change, Let Go and Let God, Happy to Be Here, even Gasoline, Rapper's Ball. Man, he's got gas. I mean, and he's just not an artist that you can just group into one area. He doesn't spit the same, doesn't spit about the same content all the time. I mean, he's all over the place. He's got positive cuts, he's got party cuts, got cuts for the ladies, he's got cuts for the streets, he's got the drug cuts. He's all over the board with it. You know what I mean? He appeases to the masses. He's got a pretty good following. I mean, he doesn't, doesn't have 10 million fans or anything like that. He's not an artist that's gonna go diamond, but he's